Hello Manchester United fans. The reality is Antony's agent missed the point with comments about Manchester United. Man United winger Antony joined Real Betis in the winter window and he's rediscovered his best form in Spain. At a press conference at Carrington last month, Unai Emery was asked why many players had underperformed at Manchester United and succeeded when they left the club. I don't know. Sometimes it's like that. It can happen in any club, he initially responded before elaborating. This is a club with a lot of pressure, and in this club you have to have a base with younger players, talented players, come to a team with one strong base. In the moment we don't have that. You feel it in Patrick Dorger, he was a little bit nervous in the first moment. You need to cope with the pressure, sometimes they go to other clubs and they are freer with no pressure. Antony is the perfect case study. There were high hopes for the Brazilian when he signed for United in an £86 million deal from Ajax in the summer of 2022. But he failed to replicate the form he showed in the Netherlands and he was sent on loan to Real Betis in the January transfer window. He contributed just 12 goals and 5 assists in 96 appearances in Manchester. However, he's had no problem finding the back of the net in Spain, scoring 4 goals in 11 appearances since his move. Real Betis are covering a minimum 84% of Antony's salary, and those wages have been worth every penny, as the 26-year-old has helped them up to 6th position in La Liga. Junior Pedroso, Antony's agent, recently gave an interview to Spanish outlet Marca about his client's improvement, and he suggested he wasn't responsible for his disappointing time at United. We respect the opinion of coach Unai Emery, but we completely disagree with his analysis of the winger, said Pedroso. To attribute Antony's lack of success at Manchester United solely to the question of physicality is a very superficial argument and does not reflect reality. The truth is that Antony has not had enough prominence or the confidence necessary to play his best football. Of the 15 games in which Emery managed Manchester United, he only used Antony in 9, with a total of 252 minutes played. This represents only 18.6% of the total possible minutes, 1,350 minutes. How can you judge an athlete without a minimum sequence to prove his worth? The manager's statement, although perhaps it was not his intention, ends up devaluing La Liga and the Spanish competitions. Spanish football has one of the most competitive leagues in the world, with top-level teams that constantly compete in the final stages of the Champions League and the Europa League. The reality is that Antony, since he arrived at Real Betis, has become one of the best players in the team and in the competition itself, demonstrating his full potential when given the right conditions to develop his game. This highlights that the problem was not the Ajax confirm interest in signing Man United midfielder on free transfer in summer window. Christian Erikson is likely to leave Manchester United when his contract expires at the end of the season, and now the midfielder has been linked with a return to Ajax. Ajax are eyeing up a free transfer swoop for Manchester United midfielder Christian Erikson. Erikson is poised to leave Old Trafford when his contract expires at the end of the season, and his former club Ajax are now showing interest in his services. Erikson joined United on a free transfer in the summer of 2022 and initially formed a dynamic trio with Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes in the early stages of Erik ten Hag's tenure. However, since then he has experienced a mix of starting and substitute roles, and a transfer elsewhere could offer him some more consistent playing time. While Anderlecht has also been tipped as a potential destination, Erikson's path could now lead back to Ajax, with the club's sporting director Maren Bucher making public comments on the matter. Bucher, who took up the sporting director post at Ajax in 2023, revealed to ESPN, "He is one of the players who has performed fantastically with us in the past that we are thinking about." There will be multiples in the media. Other names mentioned are those of Dusan Tadic and Daley Blind. Such players are always an option. To look at it. It has to fit into the phase we are in, though. In the salary structure. You also don't want to block youth players coming up. That we are open to thinking about it is clear. Only it has to fit into the overall picture for the future. Erikson recently opened up about his uncertain future at United in a chat with Danish broadcaster TV2, admitting, "I haven't been told anything United contract, and since I haven't, I assume the collaboration will end. That's how I interpret it. Everyone knows my contract is expiring, so I expect there's only one way this will go. I haven't thought much about it. In my mind, I'm prepared to find something new. What that will be, I haven't decided yet." The midfield maestro also said, "I don't have anything specific that I really want to try, so I'll see what comes along and what fits me and my family." Meanwhile, United have got some thinking to do about Johnny Evans, who's been off the pitch with a muscle injury since December and could be another player heading for the exit when his contract runs out. Victor Lindelof is set to pack his bags after an 8-year stint with the Red Devils. The club had plans to offload him last summer, but a preseason injury put paid to any transfer plans. Unai Emery discusses sending Marcus Rashford back to Man United. Don't want to waste time. Marcus Rashford scored his first 2 goals for Aston Villa to guide his lone club past Preston North End and into the semi-finals of the FA Cup on Sunday afternoon. Unai Emery insists he simply doesn't have time to think about whether or not Aston Villa will turn Marcus Rashford's loan from Manchester United into a permanent deal as Villa go for glory on 2 fronts. On Sunday, Rashford scored his first 2 goals for Villa as they beat Preston North End 3-0 to reach the FA Cup semi-finals, where they will face Crystal Palace, and Emery also has a 2-legged Champions League quarter-final against Paris Saint-Germain next month on the horizon. The England international has enjoyed a new lease of life since leaving United on a temporary basis in January, having fallen out of favour under Ruben Amorim, and Villa have an option to turn the loan into a permanent £40 million move in the summer. Emery says that decision can wait though, and the Spanish boss instead shifts his focus to the return to Premier League action in midweek. "Not yet," said Emery when asked if a decision on Rashford had been made. "The most important thing is the challenge now and this afternoon, recovering and then preparing for the match against Brighton tomorrow. Still, there are a lot of matches to play. If we are in the Champions League, if we are in the Europa League, if we are in the European Conference League or not in Europe or winning a trophy, it is completely different. A decision about each individual players. It is to get the best of them and the best of us. We don't want to waste time thinking about it." Emery also praised Rashford's performance on what was his 10th appearance for Villa since joining in January. "Firstly, his commitment to work and adapt quickly is very important. He is doing it," he said. "To feel comfortable playing at his best level, there is still work to do. Weeks to get it. Today he did 1 step forward, feeling comfortable, gaining confidence and scoring goals. There is still work to do and adaptation to get together, the teammates and himself. Today I think this was 1 step forward. He was coming here in the last 2 months, not training consistently and not feeling very fit in the first matches with us. After playing more and with the national team, it has helped him to feel better. Today was confirmation of his progression with us." Man United news: worst trainer called out as Red Devils chief targeted by rivals. Manchester United have been training over the international break in preparation to face Nottingham Forest, while Newcastle are interested in hiring the club's chief operating officer. Manchester United are going through a period of turmoil with the arrival of Sir Jim Ratcliffe and his Ineos team turning things upside down. Ruben Amorim is struggling for results, with United stuck in 13th place in the Premier League and things aren't much better off the pitch. United have posted losses before tax of £312.9 million over the past 3 seasons and are embarking on a major round of redundancies to cut costs. It is amid this context that Real Madrid's reported interest in United skipper Bruno Fernandes needs to be viewed. Real are considering a £90 million bid for Fernandes in the summer transfer window, and the bleak financial situation could play a part in the potential transfer. Meanwhile, another club is trying to poach a senior executive from United. After a 16-day break, Amorim's side will be back in action against Nottingham Forest in the Premier League on Tuesday night. Here are the latest headlines from Mirror Football. Newcastle want United chief. Manchester United's chief operating officer Colette Roche has been shortlisted as a candidate to become Newcastle's new chief executive. Roche is understood to have drawn interest from the Magpies as they look to appoint a successor for Darren Eales. While Ineos' arrival just over a year ago brought about widespread changes at the club, Roche has been one of the rare examples of continuity behind the scenes. She has seen her role expanded in the Sir Jim Ratcliffe era and is a valued member of the executive team. As COO, she has taken a hands-on role in the football department, helping with the development of the training ground and the plans for a new stadium at Old Trafford. Eales was appointed in August 2022 at Newcastle and is stepping down from his position after being diagnosed with a chronic form of blood cancer. Worst trainer named and shamed. Former United striker Andy Cole has named Gary Pallister as the worst trainer during his era at the club. Talking about the way training worked under Sir Alex Ferguson on the Rio Ferdinand Presence podcast, he said, "What we did then was we brought out the yellow jersey, yeah. So once the yellow jersey come out, the worst player you used to give them the yellow jersey. So the next week, they got to wear the yellow jersey." When Ferdinand probed about who often ended up in the jersey, Cole said, "Pally." He then added, "We loved it because you knew then, yeah? Training, you had to be on it because no one wanted to wear that jersey at the end of the week. Nobody." And man would get real vexed saying, "Nah man, I'm not wearing that. You've been voted so you've got to wear it." Real Betis sporting director Manu Fajardo says that the club may only be able to sign